Hey everybody. So I want to do a video about I kind of did this last year, or at least I did this last year for, basically the 2013 cinematic year. What I want to do again is I want to do a top 10 list of my most anticipated films of 2014. So these are films coming out in 2014, and these are my top 10 most anticipated. I have a lot of hope in these 10 films I'm about to name all for you here. So I did this in 2012 when it came to 2013 films. So now I'm doing it in 2013 for the 2014 films. Um, these are all based off of what I know about these films. Obviously, some of these films don't have trailers yet, so obviously that's going to factor into my anticipation and if I'm interested in seeing the movie or not. But based off of what's been told online, through like IMDb and things of that nature, through release dates, through films that have been confirmed to come out in 2014 at some point. Some of these might get postponed for whatever reason. A good example is Fast and Furious 7. They don't know the fate of that movie right now, so they don't know if that's even going to come out in 2014 or not. Unfortunately, that film didn't factor in because the studio right now doesn't know when that movie's even coming out. Um, these are films, like I said, I'm aware about these. These are based off of what I know about them. So I based these off of what I know about these, and obviously these might change as trailers come out and other films get talked about that may have not been even mentioned yet for 2014. Or for example, it's like Seth MacFarlane's new movie. Um, not a lot of details are out. Obviously there's a plot synopsis, but there's no trailer or anything yet, so it's hard to say whether it's going to be as funny as Ted or not. So it's kind of hard to say with some of these. So I basically played it safe, chose 10 films that I know at least a little bit about. Maybe some of these have a trailer or so by now, or at least have some plot details or some set pics or something to get me anticipated for it. So let's get started. At number 10, we have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I was a huge fan of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I still am. Curious to see what they do for a sequel. It sounds like Gary Oldman's going to be the lead character in this one. I have no idea if James Franco's character will be in it, if his character will at least have a cameo of some kind, his character will be talked about. I know the Caesar character is going to come back, and Andy Serkis is going to do the motion capture again for the character. But it sounds like they're going in an interesting direction. It sounds like they're rather than starting immediately in the Planet of the Apes like the Charlton Heston one did, they're building into how Earth became the Planet of the Apes, thus making it more sense if they decide to do kind of a storyline similar to the original Planet of the Apes for a later movie. So Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, that makes it number 10. And also, it sounds like Gary Oldman leads like a survivor colony of some kind or something during the war against the apes. So that's a little bit of the plot synopsis for that. At number 9, we have the Lego Movie. From what I know about it, it sounds like there's this guy that lives in this Lego world, and people think he's the master builder of some kind. He stumbles upon this meeting, and these, Lego Batman, Lego Superman, Lego Ninja Turtles, basically anything that's had a Lego set by now is in this meeting room, and they think this guy is their master builder who's going to change things and save him from this evil lord, played by, at least has Will Ferrell's voice in it, for this villain. Sounds like a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of interesting real Lego set characters going to be in the movie, like Lego Batman and Lego Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. It just seems like a lot of fun. I've seen a bunch of trailers for it by now. There's a lot of advertisement going on for it. It comes out in February, which is, I know, a little bit unsure because I know February is not the greatest time for movies, but it seems like a lot of fun. I know the directors of 21 Jump Street are working on it. But it seems like a lot of fun. It sounds like there's going to be at least some practical Lego effects in it, so that should add to the fun. And that makes it at number 9. At number 8, we have the Wachowskis' next film, which is going to be Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending is going to be about a toilet janitor that finds out she has similar DNA to the Queen of the Universe, since in this future there is a Queen of the Universe that basically runs everything. And the Queen worries that because this girl has similar DNA to her, that she can over dominate her and take over the universe herself. So basically, it's the struggle and this journey of this girl basically trying to live her life again because people are worried. The queen is worried. And so there's going to be people protecting her. There's going to be people who want her to be the queen of the universe instead. And there's going to be just as many people who don't want her to be the queen of the universe. So that makes it at number 8. It sounds like a pretty interesting film. I've seen a trailer for it by now. Should be pretty interesting. Like I said, Jupiter Ascending makes it at number 8. At number 7, We have the Expendables 3. It's by a director who's done a lot of stuff I'm not really familiar with. I guess his name, I think his name is Patrick something. I forget his last name. It's not coming to mind right now. I really have not seen a film by him as of yet. So Expendables 3, it sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like Mel Gibson's going to be the villain in this one. From what I've seen of screenshots, it looks like Wesley Snipes and Antonio Banderas. Jackie Chan's been talked about. Nicolas Cage has been talked about. A lot of people have been talked about. Not a lot have been confirmed, but I do know Wesley Snipes and Antonio Banderas at least have a role in it of some kind. Harrison Ford, I know, is going to be a part of it also. It seems like a pretty interesting film. It sounds like they're going to pass off the current Expendables to a younger generation of the Expendables, and that's kind of how this team lives on and how these Expendables can retire for good. So it sounds like they're going to wrap things up in this one, which let's be fair, they can wrap things up if they want. It's number 3. I can't see this going on for several more years. All these actors want to do something else also. So Expendables 3 makes it at number 7. It looks like a lot of fun. At number 6, we have Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier. Looks like a ton of fun. I really like how, at least in the trailer, how they're suggesting it anyway, that Captain America has to learn how to live in the modern day. Looks like Black Widow's trying to, convince him to date women again, to really just kind of live as an American and really just be himself again, rather than just having this military way of thinking of always doing things for Shield. It just seems like a lot of fun. It sounds like the Winter Soldier is going to be pretty significant to another Marvel character for those who know a lot about the Captain America comics. Sounds like Crossbones is going to be in this one. Another significant Marvel character. Nick Fury, I think he gets hurt or something in this. Robert Redford's going to be in this one. And I've seen some of the Russo brothers stuff. They did like You, Me, and Dupree and some other stuff. Pretty fun movie, so I'm hoping that form of fun will make it into Captain America 2 somehow in a good way. At number 5, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboot. It's by the director of Battle LA, which is a little bit unpromising, but I think what's cool is that they're finally going back to live action with the Ninja Turtle series. Um, from what I've seen of like concept art and set pieces and what the truck looks like that the Ninja Turtles drive in it, it just seems like a lot of fun. One of the actors of The Dark Knight is going to be Shredder in it. He's the guy at the bank who was kind of the victim of the Joker's smoke bomb, for those who remember that, before the Joker entered the bus. It just seems like a lot of fun, and I wanted to see the Ninja Turtles have a live action movie again. So I'm hoping it won't disappoint me. Though a lot of people who are a part of it, I'm not too happy with, like Michael Bay being a producer, Megan Fox being April O'Neil in it. But we have Will Arnett and Whoopi Goldberg and some other pretty notable people who are going to be in it too. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot makes it in at number 5. At number 4, we have the Godzilla reboot by Gareth Edwards. It's going to be done by Legendary Pictures and Warner Brothers, and just seems like a lot of fun. I like how they're finally adding like a military aspect to Godzilla. Director of Shawshank Redemption, Frank Darabont, is going to be the screenplay writer of this, so I have a lot of hope for this because of that. Bryan Cranston's a part of this. Aaron Johnson's a part of this. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's younger sister's a part of this. It sounds really promising. I mean, it just looks like the Godzilla film we've always wanted. It's going to wipe our memory clean of the Roland Emmerich version, I'm hoping, with good thoughts, of course. Um, it just looks like a ton of fun. It just looks like they're taking it in a direction that I'm pretty happy with for the most part. So it makes it at number 4. At number 3, we have X-Men Days of Future Past. What's going to be interesting about this X-Men film, it's why it's so high on my list also, is the Bryan Singer fans and the Matthew Vaughn fans get exactly what they want with this. We get to see Matthew Vaughn's X-Men meet the Bryan Singer X-Men. So basically, the younger and older selves of these mutants are going to finally, see their older and younger selves, vice versa. The Sentinels are making their way into this one, so that's really promising. I really like how Magneto, from what I've heard, like his younger self and his older self are going to fight with each other a lot. It just seems like a ton of fun. I'm glad that they're finally adding like a time travel aspect into X-Men. And from what I've seen of the trailers and footage and everything else, it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. Like I said, I love how they're combining Bryan Singer's X-Men with Matthew Vaughn's X-Men. So if you're one-sided, which one you prefer, you'll be happy because, or at least we're hoping we're going to be happy because it's going to have one or the other that you can root for. So X-Men Days of Future Past makes it in at number 3. At number 2, we have Interstellar by Christopher Nolan. It's going to come out in November of 2014. It's Christopher Nolan's next film, obviously. Sounds like it's going to be about wormholes and loopholes and people trying to understand our universe the best they can. Big cast a part of this one. We get Matt Damon, Matthew McConaughey, Jessica Chastain. We get Anne Hathaway. We have Casey Affleck. We have a bunch of people a part of this one. Topher Grace is part of this one too, and I think Michael Caine is as well. Since Michael Caine, I think, is one of Christopher Nolan's favorite actors. It just seems like a ton of fun. I hope, kind of like Inception, it's going to introduce us to something we've really never seen before in a movie. It's going to really make us think. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be thrilling. Like most of Christopher Nolan's films, and hopefully it's going to have some form of originality to it. So I have a lot of hope for it. Interstellar makes it in at number 2. And at number 1, this might surprise some people, but for those who really know me really well, I love Marvel Comics, so this also shouldn't be a surprise. At number 1, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. I have a ton of hope for this movie. Though James Gunn hasn't made the greatest films on Earth, I think his bizarre filmmaking style is going to work really well for this movie. At least that's my hope. For those who saw Thor 2, The Dark World, there was an end credit scene hinting toward Guardians of the Galaxy that looked very promising. We have Benicio del Toro, Zoe Saldana, Bradley Cooper. We have Vin Diesel. We have the same motion capture actor from Avengers who did Thanos in there is going to play Thanos in this film. It just really looks like a very interesting Marvel comic experience. I'm really hoping it lives up to the hype. Chris Pratt's going to be in this one. It just seems like a really interesting sci-fi epic, something we've really never seen from Marvel before, at least a different approach on it we haven't seen before. I've seen some brief leaked Comic-Con footage of this. It just looks like a ton of fun. It just really looks like a film that will keep you sucked into it from beginning to finish. At least that's my hope. Like I said, I think James Gunn's touch to it is going to be very special and unique. It just seems like a very unique film, and if James Gunn keeps his promises, if the cast and crew do well with it, if the writing is good, this could be a ton of fun. This could be possibly the best Phase 2 Marvel film yet. It really gets, and hopefully it'll get us pumped for Avengers 2 in 2015. It just has a ton of hope for me, and that's why it makes it at number 1. So that's my list, you guys. What are some of your anticipated films of 2014? These are my top 10 most anticipated as of right now. But like I said, who knows? Maybe trailers might change my mind down the road. But these are my personal top 10. Let me know what yours are down below, and I hope to see you guys here for the next video.